It's your boy Third Degree, and I'm back with more Ratchet News. Welcome to Drop Your 3 Cent After Party. Yo, we had a lot of crazy things going on this week, so let's just go ahead and just get right into it. First things first, like to say rest in peace to the greatest, I'm being biased, to the greatest that ever did it, you know, Michael Joe Jackson. You know, June 25th was his 15th death anniversary, so you know, definitely sending my prayers out to the family. I got a few on the page. You know, much love, always, always, always. He's in our hearts forever. Long live the king. Speaking of GOATs, another personal favorite of mine, Tupac Shakur, murder trial. The judge is suspicious of WAC 100 trying to pay Keefe D's bail. So ultimately, Keefe D he's sitting in jail right now for the murder of Tupac Shakur, or being in concert with the guys that shot Tupac Shakur. And he tried to make bail. WAC 100, who was also the games manager, who used to manage Ray J, put up the bail, but the judge was suspicious, believing that Keefe D once on bail would try to make profit off of the case, which he is not allowed to do. But this case is getting very, very interesting, and I don't think that Keefe D is going to make it out of this trial. I'm sorry, and I hope he sits and rots. If he's responsible for Pac's murder, he needs to rot, because he's a punk. Everybody in that car was a punk. Pac fought you, you shot him. I understand it's kind of like the rules of the street, but if it's a fade, go head up with the dude, and he couldn't do it. So anyway, you took out a GOAT, took out a legend, took out someone who inspired people. And mind you, Pac had his faults, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, he was so much bigger than what he was, and I think he should have been thoroughly protected. But that's just me. We'll talk about a whole nother thing. R.I.P. to Pac. Let's get justice. Moving on. West Virginia couple allegedly kept 5 adopted black children locked in a barn and used as slaves. They've been arrested and been charged on a grand indictment. This actually happened a while ago. They just been charged on a federal level, and it's getting real serious. But I guess when they say "Make America Great Again," this is kind of what they're referring to. But anyway, moving on. Los Angeles has more millionaires than almost anywhere on the globe. Yet when you drive through the city, you see a lot of homeless people on the streets. It's crazy. Even like just 5 years ago, it wasn't this bad, but it is horrible when you drive through the city. So hopefully some of these millionaires can come back, buy up some of these buildings, maybe create some rehab centers and get some of these people off the streets, help people with homes and housing. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something about it. You know what I mean? Moving on. Speaking of homelessness, starting July 1st, landlords cannot ask the tenant for 3 times the rent anymore. I know there's probably some specifics that go along with it, but this is a good start. Maybe they should drop the prices of rent too, so people can afford to live. And we don't have the homeless population that we have within these cities, especially large cities like Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta. Let's do something about it. This is a good start, government. Salute, salute, salute. Speaking of government, the presidential debate was this week. Trump, the convict, versus Joe Biden, the man who is definitely aging and not aging well at all. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I had to go to a BET event, you know, this week on Thursday. But I've heard lots of stories about it. And for what the presidential debate drew in over 25.2 million viewers. And that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And according to the polls, check out the polls. The polls are saying that Donald Trump actually beat Joe Biden in the debate. You know what I'm saying? Which is not good for the Democrats. If I were them, I'd rethink the strategy and come up with a new one and maybe find another candidate, because I don't know. Joe's not looking too competent these days. And, you know, I guess the viewers want someone that they can trust. You know, I mean, then they're going to have to pretty much give their trust or give their vote to a convicted felon to run the country. We've seen how that happened. So let's not let that happen again. Democrats, you're on the clock. Get to it. Moving on. Also on the same day, Bronny James Jr. was actually drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, I think with number either 55 or 52. But Bronny is now actually a Laker, and he's playing alongside his father, which I don't think his father has any plans to retire anytime soon now that he gets to play with his son. Matter of fact, the Lakers and LeBron made history because of this. They are now the first father-son duo in NBA history. I'm glad it got to happen with the Lakers, but as a diehard Laker fan, I just want this whole thing to be over with. I'm glad it's over with because it turned into a circus. I'm not happy about the hiring of JJ Redick. I just think the front office is just, they're doing things for clout. and for likes and for social media. It's not about winning the championship no more. So it's hard for me to root for my Lakers, and it's sad. It's really heartbreaking, but we need a change in upper management. But shout out to LeBron for pushing his son to become an NBA player and actually play alongside of him. That's dope in that aspect and making history. So can't nobody hate on that, you know? Corporate America does it all the time. They either bumping up their nephews or nieces, or in some cases, some women or some men are sleeping their way up in the ranks to get to where they need to get. LeBron made sure that his son became an NBA player, getting NBA money. So I ain't mad at it. But moving on. Also, speaking of drafts, I got to shout out my cousin, Jelani Floyd. He's my first cousin. He's actually an NBA agent, and his client, Yves Missy. I know I might have messed that up, but, you know, he's a center from Baylor who actually got drafted to the New Orleans Pelicans. So, you know, shout out to my cousin for doing it, make it happen. I see you. Salute. Love you, cousin. Salute. Moving on. In other news, in hip-hop news or music news, Drake's Family Matters has dropped out of the Billboard Hot 100. The song peaked at number 7 and spent 6 weeks on the chart. You know, Kendrick's still up there with Not Like Us, Euphoria, and other songs. Matter of fact, Kendrick was out dropping a music video in Compton this past weekend. And, you know, so while all this is happening, Drake does this. He's out here dropping selfies of himself with hookah, you know. And, hey, man, he likes it. I love it, you know. Whatever. Speaking of freaky-ass niggas, Keke Palmer wants to know what's so bad about being a 69 god. This is kind of telling, Keke. I think you're telling on yourself a little bit. You know, she goes on to explain, she's like, I thought that 69 meant being reciprocating or an act of reciprocation or something. You're telling on yourself, baby girl. You're telling. Freaky ass nigga, she is 69 god. Moving on. Matt Stafford's wife reveals she slept with his backup to make him jealous because he didn't want to commit. Ooh-wee. Moving on. Speaking of breaking up happy homes, man breaks up with his fiance after seeing Chris Brown pick her up in a photo she paid him $1,000 for. Man, Chris Breezy, you gotta stop, man, messing up these homes, man. You and Keke Palmer should maybe hook up, and you should teach her what a 69 god is, since she want to know. So, y'all, you know what I mean? This just goes like that. But anyway, I think that's all I got for today. Let's go ahead and just jump into the show. Much love. Anyway, I'm your boy, Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet Newz.